Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Eggerding again, and you are watching Unit 1, Video 16 for your Algebra 2 class for Mrs. Eggerding and Miss Moran, and we're going to talk about applications of linear equations. Good news is we're going to stick with only two kinds of applications for this video, and we'll hit the rest of them in class. Bad news is applications is a fun way to say word problems, and it's less scary. So we're going to try to group all the different kinds of word problems you see in class just so you can develop some strategies. And the first type of word problem is direct translation. It's an equation. It's just written in words. Your job is to translate it into the symbols, and then you can go ahead and solve this. So we have twice a number. Twice a number means I'm going to take 2 times a number. So I'm going to take 2 times a number increased by 3 is the same as, that's my equal sign. 5 less than a number, and the big thing is this less than. Got to remember to reverse that. So it's 5 less than whatever number you're starting with. Translated it directly as it was written. Now I can go ahead and finish solving. And you get n equals -8. So the first type of application, just direct translation. Second type of application we're going to look at is the geometry questions, where the problem is in words, but it describes something maybe with an area, maybe with a perimeter, and using the formulas for an area or a perimeter, you can set up the equation. So here you have a square where each side is increased by 3. The perimeter of the new square is 40 more than twice of the original square. In this case, I'm going to find it to my advantage to draw some pictures. So I have the old square, and then I have the new square. And we can pretend these look like squares. Perimeter of a square, so if I call the original one x, the perimeter of this original square is 4x. Okay, so that's my setup. The first part of the problem says I'm going to increase the length of each side by 3. So this becomes x plus 3. This side becomes x plus 3. The perimeter of this new square is 4 times the x plus 3. Okay, so that's just the two squares separately. Now I need to relate them. And it says the perimeter of the new square. Here's my perimeter of the new square. So the perimeter of the new square is 40 more than twice the length of each side of the original. Twice the length of each side of the original. So here's the perimeter of the new square. 40 more than twice the length of the original. I have an equation now to solve. And let's see, 2x equals 28. And you have x equals 14. One thing to remember about the word problems and applications, don't stop when you get down to the bottom. Make sure you go back and answer the question, because the original question says to find the dimensions of the original square. And so I'm going to make a note down here that my dimensions are a 14 by 14 on the original square. Two types of word problems on page 101, 7 through 12 all. There's 2 types, direct translation, and then there's going to be some geometry ones. And all of the geometry ones do deal with perimeter. We'll talk about these in class and add on some more other types of examples later on. Thanks for listening.